Hey, welcome everyone. It's Rob. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please type the number 1 in the chat box, let me know you can. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, let me get a video on. Which one's you referring to, Jim? Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Kevin. Afternoon. Good afternoon, Brenda. Hey, Helen. Morning. Oh, last Monday. Yeah, no kidding. That was on my system. Zoom wouldn't work, wouldn't let me log in, no volume. Zoom would start up, it would kick me out. No matter what I did, I restarted the computer and reinstalled. No matter what I did, I could not get access. And I hate that because I'm not one to cancel events, to cancel classes, especially not last minute. But here it was 10 minutes to, and I'm trying to get in and tried right up until the class and couldn't do it. Yeah, Alex, thank you. I am feeling a lot better, for sure. Still a little bit lingering going on of this cold or whatever it was. But definitely feeling much better. Thank you for that. That's life. You got it. So as we do get started here, keep in mind that everything we look at is for education. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. All right. Come on. Is the camera going to pick up or what? No. Jim, you spoke too soon. Unable to. All right. So it's telling me it's not getting the camera, and I don't know why, but I'm showing them on camera. So I don't know why it's giving me a hard time. Okay. It said unable to set camera up. But I'm on camera, so it's telling me I can't do it. I don't know. Yeah, thanks, PK. I appreciate that. She's finally moving around a little bit in the hospital now, or rehab center. But she's still on heavy oxy and heavy Tylenol every day. But she's actually, my wife got her out of bed yesterday. She walked with a walker, which is fine. She probably shouldn't walk without one anymore anyway. But she got out and moving and grooving, so that's good. We're hoping we get her home for some of the holidays. We don't know if it'll be Christmas, but we're certainly hoping for New Year we have her here. So I can see you. I can see you. Good, Donald. I appreciate it. Good. All right. So Power Hour agenda. We're gonna talk about follow us. Today's trades are the first thing we really get into. Market related economic reports, market review, S&P, upcoming trainings, weekly topic, and your stocks review. Weekly topic is the one we're doing last week. That's for sure, since we canceled last week's class. So here is our follow us page. Make sure you follow the various social platforms out there, folks. We've got a big plan into the new year. We put a lot of content out as it is. We've got over 1,000 videos up on YouTube. There's a lot out there. But make sure you follow along with it, with the various content we put out. Let's talk about today's trades. All right, what trades did y'all do today, Friday, Thursday, whatever it was? What are the most recent trades you've done? Win, lose, draw, doesn't matter. Funded, not funded, doesn't matter. We consider everything non-funded. Nothing here should be considered as a funded trade. They're all example purposes only, is the purpose of it. But go ahead and drop those in. And let me see what we got here. So first thing is, let me bring up my example from Pop. There we go. So this was last week. You can see all of these were 10, 11, 12. We had 3 different dates in there for 10th, 11th, and 12th. Data sort. Let's do it by B. All right. So Chipotle Mexican Grill. And these are one contract trades, folks. That's what this is, all ones. Don't worry about what it says over here. That's just the way the spreadsheet works. It requires 10s or 4s to work. We just stopped out of one contract. So Chipotle Mexican Grill on the 10th, which was Tuesday of last week. We're down $19.50. Tesla, which was on Wednesday of last week, we're up 448.5. Broadcom, we're down $195. Lilly, we're up $1,300. And United Healthcare, we're up $500. So $2,000 for the week. So not horrible, one iota, right? If you're looking at the full contract trades of what we did there, that was $12,831 in total. for this setup here, right? Lily, we only got to 4 contracts. We took it as an aggressive entry. But overall, not too shabby. Let's see what y'all got here. Dot, 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 dot. Yeah, Alex, you'll love pop without a doubt. You will love it. Let's see. Just going back to see where the trades are. All right. Alex said slow moving, but still up $400. Mostly scalping puts on Amazon, calls on Tesla. Nice, very good. Oh yeah. And I probably should have done something with that. Y'all have gotten some emails. Let me ask. How many of you have seen the emails, the online trainings for $1? Give me a 1 for yes, a 2 for no. Okay, so a lot of yeses. I'm not seeing any no's coming in there yet. This is going away soon, folks. So I would take advantage of it. Yeah, amazing sell. Thank you so much. You got it. Watched Cheapskate Trading yesterday. Good, Stephanie. It's good training, Cheapskate Trading. We're gonna have one more class. One more training. We're gonna probably incorporate into that same setup out there. But Andrew, can you drop a link into that, folks? If you've not taken advantage of it, the thing I heard this morning. I mean, I see all of the sales coming through for them. They're $100 trainings that we're giving for $1. Buy one, buy all. We didn't even think of, let's put a page together where somebody can just checkbox what they want and they buy it from there. We didn't even think of that because you got to go back in 4 different times and place the order for each one of them because we have 4 different trainings up there. 3 of them were mine, 1 of them was Tony's. I mean, there's something up there shortly from Brandon's as well. And the goal was, hey, so we've had some problems with the website, with the new server that we're using. We finally got that out of the way and it's done. It's holiday season. Let's go ahead and offer this crazy price. If you saw the first email that came out that said, this is Amelia, took over Rob's computer. Don't tell him, but blah, 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 right? And we're not that far off from that, right? I was not planning on doing $1 classes. I was thinking we're doing them for $49, which is where we would normally run them if we put them on a special. But because of all the things that were going on, it was definitely worth it. So hopefully you take advantage of them, folks, because again, it's not staying there forever. This is just a for now thing, but rock and roll on it. I mean, it's a great deal. I don't know how you pass it up. And there are those that are buying all 4 of them. Just I don't even know if I have one of them ready, but for $1, I'm just going to buy it. Which again, but your $1, I got to pay 30 cents. I think it is for every credit card transaction plus about 4%, 3.5%, 4%. So the company's not making anything on it. It's not what it was for. It was to help you guys out with just that, right? Yeah, I did all of them. Stephanie said, "Yeah, I appreciate it. Good." Last week, Alex said, last week I tried the power hour trade. I learned in cheapskate trading, of course, and made over $1,300 with almost a 40% return over an hour and a half. Nice, guys. I'm telling you, the stuff that's in there is just massively valuable. Take it for $1. Rob, I got no time right now. Listen, I don't need your $1. Do it, don't do it, doesn't matter. I think you're crazy if you're not doing it, but and some of you probably have all of them already, I'm guessing. Yeah, so excited I bought one of them twice. Oh my goodness gracious. All right. Let's see. Did we have anything else for trades in here today? Alex also said, I'm also so excited to try some covered call Explorer. Oh, where'd it go? Candidates, paper trading, of course. Good. No trades off for Jim. Row 4 is hidden. Yeah, row 4 is hidden for a math purpose, Jim. That's why row 4 is hidden. So that's hidden because when I cut all of these and put them onto the closed trades page, I have to readjust the formula that is on this from this cell. I have to readjust it. So I've got a hidden field in there of row 4 that is just an empty field, so it just does the calculations automatically. So no other trades hidden in there, but good catch on that, by the way. Let's see, lots of ones in there. Jim said, way to go for $1,300 trade. Yeah, there you go. Stephanie said nothing today. Yeah, for me, it was aggressive, but the only thing I took was an NVIDIA entry. We closed right at the fib line. So we had a rank of 2 on Friday when we closed. What does the rank of 2 mean? We closed near fib line, right? But no moving average there. So I like it. It's just not perfect, right? It's not a great setup. It's a good setup, right? Today we broke down. The retest was where I struggled, right? Because it really didn't do a good job of retest. You look at the 5-minute candle, first 5 minute was straight down, right? So now that means we've got to go look at ones. You look at a 1-minute candle for today, and the first candle stretched down. So let me give you numbers. So the fib line is at 134.16. So 133 3/4 is my entry. Okay. We closed right here. Close at 133.84. Right. So we're not down far enough at that point, but I wouldn't have taken it anyway. I was waiting for the retest. So once again, we have 134.16. We put a high in on the second 1-minute candle of 133.95. So 95 up to 16 is 21 cents. So we came within 21 cents of that line and we failed. Once we got down below the 75 level, the 133.75, that was where the entry triggered at that point. Okay. So 133 3/4, call it 132 just to make easy math. And right now we're at 131. So we're about $1 to the good right now. No, there was 133 3/4. Why did I say 132? 133 3/4, so it's a $3 move so far in my direction on the position. 70 delta, $2-ish is what the profit is on the options, right? So overall, not too shabby, but that was the only one that I had go off today. I looked at Chipotle today. I had them on my list because we were in a rank of 1 on Friday, which was great. The gap up, we got a little pullback and a bounce. I wound up not taking it, focused on something else at that point. Just didn't wind up taking that setup on there. But that was the only other thing that I saw that even set itself up well for today. All right, the only one at all. By the way, those of you, I'm seeing a lot of brand new. When I say brand new, a lot of names in here that I have not seen in forever. Those of you that are here newer welcome to have you here. I know we've had a lot of response from not only students that have been around and active for a long time with Wealth Builders, but ones that we haven't heard from in years have taken advantage of that $1 offer. So, all right, good. So let me bring us back into, so not a whole lot as far as trades today, but I don't do much this time of year. I start weaning off, and we've got, here we are the 16th. I'm just looking at my calendar on the wall. We're on the 16th. We've got the rest of this week. Next week, we are off. We're closed as a company. We will be back open again on Monday, the 30th. We're back in regular action there. Keep in mind that markets are closed on the 25th. They close early on the 24th. You're going to have very light volume there. It's a midweek thing. I think you're going to see a lot more people taking vacation around this timing as well. So just something to keep in mind for that. And then the week of the 30th, same thing. I'm not normally doing a whole lot of trading at all that week. I mean, not at all. I'm just, it's too busy, too much other stuff going on, family time, holiday time, and so forth. It's also lighter volume, which is our topic today, is volume is critical, right? Yes, Stephanie, we have fib class this evening. And I'll get to the schedule in a few minutes. We'll see it. But yeah, I've got them on our schedule already. Yeah. All right. So economic reports. Let's go take a look at Forex Factory. So guys, you really can dig in on this if you are willing to spend the time. There's a lot of great things you can do. I'm showing you the very easy way right now. And that is this. I never started my recording. We're recording fine. I mean my drawing tools, right? So if you look, this is just US. Everything here is all US for currency. It's the only one we have. And you'll see it under filter when we go and look at that in a moment, right? So today at 8:30 reports, nothing wrong with them, but it's pre-market. You're not doing anything with them. Unless you're trading futures, it doesn't have an immediate effect on your trading. If you're trading in futures, then you definitely want to know that those are coming out. So you're not placing a trade to get in the S&P 500 and you get this whipsaw because an economic report comes out and just devastates you. right? Orange for moderate impact and red for high impact in the market. So PMI came out at 945 today. There was lots of conversation around it. Tomorrow, we've got everything is pre-market, is retail sales, big reports, right? Building permit is pre-market. Then we get a 1030 report, which is crude inventory. Brandon's got a great trade setup that he does on crude and gas every single week. And then at 2 o'clock tomorrow, Wednesday, is the Fed right into 2:30 when the press conference comes in, right? It's expected. I think the other night, Tripp gave me okay, Jim just said 99.1% change of a 0.25% rate cut this Wednesday. Yeah, 99.1. The other night it was 96 and change. Tripp had given me that when we were in class. I had asked them. So we're at 99% chance we're going to get a 1/4 point drop. Do we need it? Do we not need it? I don't think it's going to hurt the economy. I think from there on, we're going to be very cautious on cuts. Powell has said that even if Trump asked him to resign, he will not. I don't know if Trump has any. He said he's not looking to get rid of him, but I don't know if he has any legal standing to get him out of the appointed job if he's done nothing wrong. So I don't think he can. But I don't think Powell is done cutting. I think he wants to see lower rates. I just don't think he wants to do them as quickly as Trump wants to see them happen. So will they be better for business? Without a doubt. Will they be better for the economy? Without a doubt. Look, there's a lot of ways of looking at what's going on. We got economic reports. We'll talk economy, right? There's a lot of way of looking at how the economy is affected by rate cuts and so forth, right? Does it help the individual with rate cuts? Yes, it does. It's going to help the individual by being able to more afford the price of a home, right? There's two different schools of thought. I'm a very big fan of Grant Cardone. If you do not know who he is, look him up. 10X is his brand. I'm a very big fan of him when it comes to real estate. I do believe he's got a good handle on what things, what things are all about. And he's talking about, there's a lot of talk of when interest rates drop, house prices are going to skyrocket. He's claiming that when interest rates drop, we're going to see housing prices drop as well. And the reason for it is there's so many people sitting on the side that can't sell. There's going to be a glut getting out there. They've waited so long. You're going to see lower prices just to try to get the house sold, to try to be one of the people that get up front with their sale, right? With selling their home. Right or wrong, I don't know, but I do like him when it comes to real estate, right? So I am a big believer that you follow people, get involved with people that are good at what they do. You're looking at stock market, I'm really good at what I do. You look at real estate, he's really good at what he does. Am I really good at real estate? Okay, not really. I'm okay, right? Okay, I thought I saw another comment coming there. All right. But you look at, now New York just made an announcement that they're going to be sending everybody a check. If you're an individual making less than $150,000 a year, you're going to get a check for $350. If you're a family making whatever the number was, 250, I forget, you'd get a check of $500. Now, I don't know if Hochul, the governor, was just spewing numbers, giving examples. I don't know what they're doing with it. And she said, spend it on whatever you want, food, whatever you want to, you spend it on, that's fine. And that's a bottom-up approach, right? Where you put the money out to the people and they go and spend it in the economy and it raises all boats, right? And that's the way it's believed to work, right? It is not something that I've seen a lot of success with. Most people, it's not that you're putting it back into things that make the economy work. Are you buying something with it? Yeah, but if you're buying something with it that's made in another country, are you really supporting the US? The answer is no. Right? Top-down approach has proven over. If you go back and look at the S&P 500 on the major crashes we've had with Y2K and with the 2008 housing debacle and so forth, government gave money to big business, and that's what raised all ships, because that money gets invested in building new plants, hiring more people, and so forth. And that raises all the economy. Now, again, there's arguments for both sides, but I'm not an economist. The person who I call the economist, who one of my entire mastermind groups calls the economist, this is his explanation of it is historically it just doesn't work. And you're going to find the one-offs that yes, it does, and so forth. And that's fine. I'm not looking to argue the point. But government giving money back to the whole give back of let's go ahead and pay off mortgage, not mortgage, sorry, mortgage would be great if they pay off your mortgage, right? We're going to pay off your student loan. Listen, I'm happy if you get rid of your debt, but what we're not realizing is someone still has that debt. We didn't get rid of it. We didn't extinguish it. The government didn't say we're just going to cross that line item off. No one has to pay it. Yes, they do. Someone's paying that bank back. The bank that lent that money is not saying, yeah, we're not getting, the government's paying it back. Someone's got to pay those monies back to a bank, right? The bank, you can't just tell a business, sorry, you don't get your money back any longer, right? And that's the taxpayer. So we've got to look at how the economy is affected. So lowering interest rates right now, I think are a good thing. I think getting them back down to the point of 3% would be very difficult right now. I don't think we need it at that low. I think Trump wants it that low. So now it's going to be more of a meeting of the minds of Powell and Trump to see where we go. But if we can get down to that 4%, I think we'd be doing, wow, at this point. But this will be, of course, our last one. Yeah, Tom said our grandkids will be paying it back. It's funny. There was a video that someone sent me, and there's a mom in her living room playing with her little son, right, on the floor, and there's a knock on her door. Right? No doorbell, a knock on her door. And this crazy lady opens the door. But she opens the door up, and you're looking at this where now she's standing, the door is in front of her, she's standing sideways, and you're looking at the side. You can't see who's outside, you just hear a man's voice out there talking. And he said, ma'am, we're from the government. She said, how can I help you? He said, we made a mistake with taxes. So you can either pay us $2,481.18 now, or you could pay us $33 a month for the rest of your life. And she looks back out, she's looking out the door and she says, but I don't have that kind of money. And he said, I wasn't talking to you. It was the kid in her arms. And it's a very powerful message that all of these things we're doing, we're just passing this buck along to our children, our grandchildren, right? Listen, the changes that are happening in the world, are they going to have some effect on me? Yeah, listen, I'm close enough to start collecting Social Security if I want pretty soon, right? I could be done if I chose to. Is it going to affect me? Will I be bothered? Yeah, I'll be bothered, but am I going to, is my, the way I live my life going to change? Absolutely not. There's very few changes that can happen that would do that. Take all my money away, yeah, but other than that, there's very few things that are going to make that happen. My kids and my grandkids, I'm very concerned for them if we don't see some changes take place in the economy, in the way people are paid. People are not paid fair wages and so forth. We need to get that stuff up. Okay, good. So you got GDP coming up, unemployment claims, all of these are orange, right? Core PCE, which is the price index, that is on Friday at 10:30. Revised unit of measure, consumer sentiment. It's a month rather, monthly consumer sentiment is a revision to the report. They do it every month. They revise these things out every report. So we've got some economic reports there. But for me, normally I'm looking at this with all currencies. And I only look at red and orange. And I only care about what's happening during our market hours. Other than that, I don't care. 3:15 a.m., 3:30 a.m., 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., I don't care. I do want to know if anything is happening in our market hours, right? Here's a 3:20 report. Okay, that could have a move on our market. So if you're in a trade, listen, if you're in a trade today and you've been in it all day and now it's getting to 3:15 in the afternoon, you got another 45 minutes, it might be worth tightening up your stop, or it might be worth just exiting out of that trade and saying, you know what, I'm done with it. It's long enough. I don't want to take a chance on that happening. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that. What I'm saying is you want to be aware of it so that you can make that decision. Right now, it's difficult to make that decision if you don't know what's coming out. And that's why I like to look at the economic reports where we look at anything that's happening globally, right? So Tuesday, let's see, what else we got there? So these are all, I don't care about this. 10 o'clock, that's a U.S. report. These are all U.S. reports. U.S. report. 445, I don't care about any of these, right? Here, let's bring it up a little higher. And it's not that you get a lot of them. That's not what it's about. 7 a.m., 8:30 a.m., don't care. This is a U.S. report. These are 8:15 at night. I don't care. 10 a.m., these are all U.S. Well, actually, we've got retail sales. And we have retail sales, but they are pre-market, so it doesn't matter. Although it's CAD, it doesn't make a difference, right? So I want to know what's coming out, right? This should be part of your daily process. You should look at economic reports just for today. Just for today. Don't do whole week. What do I have for today? I've got some, let's see, I've got some 8:30 reports. I've got some 9:45 reports. I've got this 3:20 or 2:20 report. Actually, yeah, that's today, right? Yeah, that's today. Yeah. So now I know what's going on. I document it in the top of my notebook. I have a spiral notebook. And the way that my notebook works is it's 2 pages, right? For me, sitting down in front of me, the page on the left and the page on the right are for today. Both pages are for today. So I'll put today's date on the top, left page. I'll put today's date down there. And I will write in any economic reports and the time that I've got to worry about them. So they're done. It's documented. I don't have to worry. It takes it out of my head. What did I forget? What did I forget? And I don't want to have to keep going back to this page. I already wrote down what's important. I don't need all the junk, right? And then I will draw a line underneath it. And every time I write, I go in and analyze a position for a trade that I'm taking, I will write down I took a trade on Apple. This is the date, the time. This was the bid-ask spread. This was the option I bought, what I paid for it. Where's my stop or my target? All of that will be documented by hand, quickly, very quickly, on about that much, 3 or 4 lines on a spiral notebook. And I draw a line underneath it, and then I'm ready for the next trade if there's one. If I don't do anything and the other page is left blank, so be it. I don't ever want to have to, when I'm working on the page that's on my right side, and then I run out of paper, I've got to turn over and look at the left. And then I've got an open trade that's on the previous page and one that's on the current page, and I'm flipping back and forth. Nope, I've made mistakes that way. I'll throw the notebooks away. I don't care. Well worth it for me to spend that money on a notebook. Okay? But document. Everything is with that. Everything that comes down to that is very important to me as a trader. Okay? All right. Let's go back here. Market review. Let's go look at the S&P 500 and see how she's doing. So I'm a fan right now of the overall pattern. I like that we're getting a little bit of pressure building up in there. You know what? Let me bring it in a little bit. All right. So last week, this was on the 6th. So previous week, I guess, the Friday before, we hit an all-time high, right? We pulled back right to the moving average, a little bit lower than the fib line. We broke the 8, came back up above, right? The next day. Right? Or yeah, this was the 11th, which was Wednesday. We came back above. Didn't quite get as high. We pulled back again. That 8 combo with the fib line, we're there. Wick stretched down intraday on Thursday, or Friday rather, and we closed just below. Today we gapped up. We were at a bullish neutral bias on Friday with a rank of 1, which says get me in a bullish retest bounce. I'm at a full contract at this point of what I can take, right? So I love the setup that's happening there. Now I got this phone call today. Let me get where'd my drum tools go? Oh, there we go. I got this call today from a buddy of mine. Rob, we had a high, a lower high, and is this a lower high? You can't say that it's a lower high. Yeah, right now it is, but we don't have a pullback in there that makes this a high, right? That makes it the recent high. We may have a candle tomorrow that looks like this. Then this could not have been a recent swing high, right? So you need another day to determine was today a recent swing high or not, okay? If you get a pullback, it might be. And then we're looking at this descending triangle setting up in there, right? Horizontal across here to this fib line, basically. And the top's coming down. And if that's the case, that's great. And it's something to look at, but it's not something we have right now. We're not there today that we've got that pattern setting up. But I do like that we bounced today. And if we look at an intraday chart, let's go look at a 1-minute chart. Actually, let's look at a 5. Always go to the 5 first. Look at a 5, right? All right, why is that line not there? 60, 60, 23. I don't know why it's not showing through. Oh, I know why. It can't show through. 60, 60, 23, right? Let's see, 60, close enough, 60, 60, 32 instead of 23, right? So we gapped up, we went right through it, we came back down, we stretched down there, intra-candle, right? Within that 5-minute candle, we stretched down. This is at 10:25 this morning, and we bounced, okay? So what I would do is, I'm not going to change, actually I am. I'm going to change over to the 1-minute chart. right? And what did I say? 60, 60, 23. Right? So let's go get back the entire day. Let's go to 60, 60, 23. Close enough. 60, 60, 50. Okay. So now I'll bring this in as much as we can. We close right at that fib line, or yeah, that fib line, that blue line I just snapped in, and we bounced. Right? Hey ho, right? Off to work we go. Great move, great setup from there. So if you look at the overall picture, we gapped up, we vacillated around a little bit, we got into a little channeling pattern, we broke out briefly, failed, came back to the fib line and bounced. Didn't fill a gap. I don't need to fill the gap. I needed to bounce off that fib line, which is exactly what it did, right? And that right there was a signal to say, okay, start looking at all bullish positions at this point. The S&P is setting up bullish, go, right? And that's what I want to see, right? If we, let me just take it back here, get rid of that line. Okay, let's go back to the daily chart. Perfect. So what are we looking at then? We've got that 60-60 as downside support. Right now, that is a key level because the 8 moving average is right there. On the upside, we're looking at that 6,100, basically, 60.99.97, 6,100 level. Why is that so important? Well, it's our all-time high. Literally the all-time high that the S&P has ever been to, right? No one should be freaking out right now saying we're not going higher again, right? And what you should be doing, and there's a reason that we are zoomed in this close to look at this right now, right? Because now we're going to back it out, right? We made the move up here. Let's do it this way. We made the move up here, and then we went sideways for 2 weeks and had a pullback. We made the move up. We went sideways for a couple of weeks. We never pulled back. We just broke out. We went sideways for a couple of weeks, and we pulled back. And then we broke to the upside, right? And then we had a very small basing setting up there, very small at that point. And then we pulled back, right? So actually, let's do it this way. All right, I'm coming now. There we go. All right, so let's go grab a rectangle. Close enough. My top is going to be off no matter what I do. It's close enough. Okay, it's moving around because of the other blue box behind it. So we had that same type of basing pattern that happened where we just kind of went sideways, right? And then I'm not ready to call it yet, but I'm going to kind of have the same thing happening right now. Same type of pattern in there. Okay. So actually, if we come back here, that's near perfect, right? I mean, we are ready to call it now, right? What a nice channel inside of there, right? And the fibit, ironically, right here, that fib line becomes a fibit inside of that blue box, inside that blue rectangle, okay? So we've had a lot of similarity in the way the market has moved. So there should be nothing about this that is freaking you out, right? Have we broken through the 8 recently? Yes. Did we do it before? We did it on this pullback. We did it on this one. We did it on this one. We did it here, and now we're doing it here. So, okay, so what? But we haven't, what about the 21, Rob, if it breaks the 21? Well, it did it here, and it did it here, right? Now, this one is hard because it was the first one. We really barely got moving anywhere, and then had a little bit of a pullback. But everywhere else has broken the 8 and or the 21. Okay, so we're not in a place right now that there's anything to freak out over. And that's where it really needs to come down to, is you can't stress over this at this point. You got to set back and say, you know what? I like what's happening in the market, or I understand. Not like it. You may not like it. You don't have to like it. You have to understand it, right? Because you may have an opinion on what you want to do, what you think you should be doing, but the market needs to tell you what it's doing. And you need to be able to read the market objectively. not subjectively. Well, this time I think this. Nope, there is no this time. You think this because of that. It is definitely an if-then statement. If this happened in the market, then that is what I expect to come next, right? It's if-then. Let's see. Jim said next FOMC meeting is 129, 9 days after Trump's in office. It's funny. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if he influences the FOMC decision. Powell, the good thing for us as in the US is the Fed is not dictated by the president. So if the Fed chairman is worried about their job, then they're going to do whatever the president wants, maybe. But the Fed chairman will do much better off in life financially if he leaves public office and goes and gets hired in a private sector. He'll make more than he makes, much more than he makes as the Fed chair. Go into consulting at $2,000 an hour, whatever it is. He will crush it, right? Just by going in and giving some words of wisdom. So will he be influenced? I don't know if the president, they can't force him. The president can't force him to do anything. So I don't know. We'll see. And Trump was the one that appointed him, actually. Yeah, exactly, Jennifer. You got that right. All right. So on S&P 500, I like what we're seeing, guys. VIX, there's nothing there. We gapped up a little bit today. So on the S&P right now, we are up 25 points. And the VIX is up. And some of you are scratching your head saying, why the hell is the VIX up if the S&P is up? Exactly. That is why I say I don't believe the VIX is a leading indicator any longer of truly what's happening in the market. I think it's kind of a wishy-washy, I remember when, right? I remember when I was a kid, I remember when we did it this way, right? I don't think it's the same indicator any longer. Not since the restructuring of how the Qs or the stocks in the Qs are calculated. Not since that point has it been the same indicator, right? So watch the levels on the S&P that we talked about, right? That 6,100 level, that 6060 level. The bottom of the rectangle is definitely one to consider as well, which would be 6036, give or take. Can't get an exact number. 6036 and a half. So 6036, close enough, right? Somewhere in that range is going to be, and then of course, you got the top of the rectangle, but I'm not too worried about that because you got a resistance right above head. Okay. All right. Excellent. Good. Let me move that there. Go back here. All right. So guys, we got some upcoming trainings coming. So the check-in for Inner Circle is tonight. The monthly is coming up on the 19th at 8 p.m. Fib Trading Mastery is this evening, and then we've got December 30th, January 3rd, and January 10th. So we're going to rock right through them. The trainings have taken me a lot more hours than believed up to this point. I thought I'd be further ahead than I am, but we've really dug in deep on them. So they're good trainings. They're available recordings if you haven't watched them live, if you've been in that training. Mastermind group is on the 17th, which is tomorrow. We're going to do the second part of our core training. That is a 2-hour training for those of you in Mastermind, so plan on that. Training You is on January 2nd. Power Hour Trading Coaches Playbook this week are on schedule. Come next week, we are not doing either one. So we are off next week on everything. Office is closed. If there's an emergency, send an email in and we'll do the best we can to get to it. But my team is off for the week. Pop, Covered Call, E-mini are on schedule this week. Same thing. Next week, we're off. So anybody that has any subscriptions, we will just automatically extend those subscriptions on those. Not a problem whatsoever. All right. And then, oh, here we go. I didn't realize we had this in here, right? Pick any of these trainings for $1. Building an options trader, small accounts, big return. That's Tony. Cheapskate trading. That's me. And Covered Call Money Machine was myself as well. All right. Like I said, there's going to be one more that we're going to add to this bucket soon. It's probably going to get its own list. And Andrew just dropped a link to that in there. If you're interested in any of those, you can go right there. Yeah, Jennifer said, let everybody know the market closed 1 p.m. on Christmas Eve, right? Which is the 24th, Tuesday. Yes, so the market is closed. So that's a good point, Jennifer. All right. Weekly training topic. Volume is critical this month. Folks, listen. And again, I wanted to do this last week, was the topic before my class wound up getting canceled. Volume is very important on the market right now, right? In this month. And not per se up to this point, because it's really not. You don't usually see a lot of change in volume up to this point. Let me go over to template number 1. All right. So we've had huge volume today. Huge volume in comparison to what we've had, right? And this is on the S&P 500. And that's great and fine and good. You can see very steady volume, very steady, a couple of big days in there, but you're not going to see it a lot in the overall markets. But you are going to see it potentially in stocks. On a big gap down, on Adobe's miss of earnings. Not surprised to see that happen. That tremendous volume that just skews all the other volume bars in there, right? If we go look at AMD, right? Volume is kind of flattish. Just look at the blue line. That's what I do. It's a 21-day simple, not exponential, simple moving average. Exponential puts more weight on today, a little bit weight on yesterday, a little bit less weight. So most emphasis today, a little bit less yesterday, a little bit less the day before, and so forth, until you go back however many days, in this case 21. Simple moving average puts equal weight. You get the same weight whether it's today or 21 days ago, right? And because I'm looking at overall volume and comparing volume to itself, I don't want to exponentially put more value on today. I want to keep equal value across all. So it's simple moving average. Most people do not explain the why. They just say you should use simple, but they don't tell you why. Right? The why is because of the value of keeping everything equal, because we're measuring volume against itself. All right. So lighter volume today, Rob. Yeah, but it's not done yet today. Okay. But look for volume to drop off. And that's where the concern has to come in, is you might see volume start to tip off, particularly as you get into the end of this week, the beginning of next week. My guess is Thursday or Friday, you might start seeing it this week. Next week, you will definitely see some lighter volume. When I say definitely, barring any kind of crazy news, you'll see some lighter volume take place, kick in there. The end of the year, people are on that Christmas vacation, holiday vacation, the week of the 27th, they've got vacation like we do. We shut down for a week there every year. And then they saw, I'm just going to extend it out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And you know what? Why do I even bother coming back? I got to use my vacay up. Might as well just finish it all up, wipe it out, call it a day. Awesome. Okay, that's great. That's fine. That's good. So you're gonna potentially see some lighter volume in there. When you see the lighter volume, you've got to ask yourself a question. If you're trading, if you're a dollar trader, meaning you trade equal dollar trades, let's say you put $1,000 normally into a trade, right? And that allots you for the stocks that you trade, let's say 1 to 3 contracts, depending on the stocks that you're choosing, right? Well, you might be in a position to say, I'm not going to trade $1,000. I'm going to put $500 into the trade. I'm going to cut back $400, $800, whatever your number is. Okay. I'm going to cut back. That's the idea. I'm going to cut back when I'm putting in the trade. I still want to trade, but I want to have less risk in the overall trade. Right. And volume should tell you that. If you see volume start to drop off, if this was closing volume today, right, and I saw that, come tomorrow, if I see that lighter volume, I am already seeing then that we've got lower volume setting up in there, and I'm going to back away on, or back off rather, the number of contracts and or dollars I'm putting into a trade. So if you're a contract trader, meaning you trade 10 contracts regularly, maybe you only want to trade 3 or 4, right? On that lower volume, right? You're not getting that spike. It's a drop. On that lower volume, you might want to do that. And that is where the cream of the crop has to rise to the top. If I take a trade, listen, I'll have my computer on all week next week. My desktop is trading, market is open, the computer is on. If I get a lull, this is the first year that we don't have at least one of our children at home with us any longer. Both of them are now married and out of the house. At this point, I don't have that time crunch with them where I'm trying to spend time with them. I'm forcing it to happen of let's go do this, let's go do that. I don't have that happening right now. So there's going to be some free time is my guess. Right? So what I'll do, if I pop in my office, and remember, I'm sitting here right now, this is the way I would normally sit when I'm trading. This way. I've got 6 monitors set up. You're looking at the far, where I'm talking to you now, teaching off of is the far left monitors. And the reason is I don't want to put my camera in the middle of this monitor and this microphone is right in its way. And this is what you're seeing, right? Like this half my face is gone with the microphone there. But I am trading from here and I can easily shift my body left to right because my monitors are shaped at an angle. They're flat in the middle if I'm sitting like this, and then they shape outwards, to the outskirts, getting closer to me. And so I'm normally sitting here, but my other computer is from where I'm sitting here is, well, from here, I guess it would be 90 degrees. This is where that computer is. So this would be 90 and another 45. So what's that? 135 degrees, right? Away. It's my tool and die maker background. It's offset by a couple of degrees, right? So I could work on that other computer, set an alarm up, and if the alarm goes off, I turn around and I look at what's going on. But I am not sitting here vigorously saying, what am I trading today? I'm sitting here saying, if the perfect storm happens, I'll consider taking a trade. Consider taking a trade. Some of it is lazy. Be brutally honest with you. I'm tired. I just want to break. And these 2 weeks are my rejuvenation time. I come back full of vim and vigor come the beginning of the new year, right? After the year end, we get back into the following year. So what would that be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 6th, I guess, is Monday, right? Or King's Day is on the 6th. From there forward is when I am just raring to go. Yeah, it gave me a little bit of a recharge, downtime. But if I have an opportunity, I will definitely consider a trade if I find it. I'm glad you liked it, Jennifer. Good. All right. Perfect. So just be careful with volume. That's all it is. All right. And then next is your stocks. So what candidates do you want me to look at? Drop them in. Tell me what you want to talk about. What stocks? No, Brandon, today is not the last class of the year. The 30th will be the last power hour of the year. There will be no training next week. Everything goes back to normal on Monday, the 30th, keeping in mind that the 1st, the market is closed. We will be open full day on the 30th and the 31st. We'll be right back into full swing again on the 2nd. I just won't be doing a whole lot of trading on the 2nd. Interesting one, Stephanie. I think that's the first time anybody has ever asked me for that symbol. Jim said, look at a monthly chart for volume. Last month, lower than average, not normal from previous years. Let's see. So I don't have volume on here. I want to be careful not to change it over, Jim. Only because if I do, I'm going to... This is weird. So I don't know why some of my symbols are not changing over. I've got S&P weekly. I've got CrowdStrike monthly. I've got AMD daily, AMD 5-minute, AMD 1-minute. That's weird. Yowza. Okay. Crazy. All right. Let's go look at the candidates here. Alex said, what stocks do you like to trade intraday? Alex, my entire list of my favorite stocks to trade intraday is right in front of you right now. And that's what's in power option plays. That's what's in pop right now. Folks, we went from, and listen, I know this can be a scary number for people. They see this $1,117,955. That's how much you're up in a non-funded account in pop this year. And that's assuming you took every single trade using the rules that I teach, right? But they see that number and say, yep, I got a $3,000 account. Ain't no way in God's great earth that's going to happen. This doesn't work for me. And they back away and they get nervous over, concerned over, will this really be something I can do or not, right? And then I went and did this. And I switched this over to one contract trades. Everything is one contract and nothing is held overnight. Nothing is held overnight, okay? So remember, if you have a small account and you do not set up a margin account, you do not fall under the pattern day trader rule. So if you had a $5,000 account, you can do 3 trades. You can do 4 trades today, as long as you didn't spend your $5,000. You did $1,000 on the first trade, $1,000 on the second, the third, the fourth. You didn't spend your $5,000. You can do as many trades as you can, 50 of them. as long as you didn't spend what you have in your account. And then tomorrow it resets and you can do that many trades all over again. So you could do 3 trades every day if they were small enough trades with a $5,000 account, let's say. Okay. What you can't do is carry on margin. So whether or not they allow you to do spreads and things like that are where you have to make a decision of, do I want to be relegated to these, what I consider a very antiquated rule of doing it this way or not. On one contract, we're up $131,945. Okay. You need, now, if you took booking out of this, you'll probably take about $30,000 of profit out of this. Call it 100 grand in a year, right? If you took all of the big stocks out of here, the Costco's and the Lilly's and so forth, you're looking at probably 50 to 60 grand if you took all the big winners out of here. And I'm going to break this down this year and show you where all the numbers are next year, after this year is over. I'm going to show you where all the numbers are on this list, on what the actual income was on each of the various stocks, right? So every one of you could consider this pop list. Should be considering what we do in pop. Listen, here's the thing. I don't believe in sugarcoating it. This is not a get-rich-quick program, power option plays. It's not. It's not. This is about learning and getting it over time. This will take you 3 to 6 months to master the system. And then you still have to master fibs, and that comes down to digging in and drawing them over and over and over again. And I'll tell you exactly what I say in Monster Market Movers. Every single day, go find 10 stocks to draw Fibonacci on. If you don't know what stocks to do, actually, I don't want you to pick one to do. I'm going to tell you what to do. Start with the Dow 30. There's only 30 stocks in there. If you do 10 a day, you'll do it in 3 days. The entire Dow will be done. Then go to the NASDAQ, which is 100 stocks, 10 more days. Then go to the S&P 500, 50 more days. Now you finish that and go to the Russell 2000. Yep, 200 days. All right. You're going to get, by the time you get done with drawing fibs on the S&P 500, you've done 3 days, 10 days, 50 days. You got 63 days in there that you've drawn fibs, 10 each day. You are becoming a master at drawing them. A master. All right. So, all right. Let's see. Let's go jump in. So let me bring this back over to template number 2. And BRK_B. I love Berkshire. I'm a big fan of it, Stephanie. I own it in my long-term portfolio. I have for years. I've owned this in my portfolio. I am a big Warren Buffett believer. Always have been. Right? If we go back and look at a weekly chart on this, right, you could see that in 22 we were down here at 275. We're now at 475. If we go to a monthly chart, you could see that in 2015 we're at 150. We're at 450. Right? Go back to daily. So I'm a big believer in it. I love it. But right now, bearish bias, right? So nothing to trade yet. Break the 454.75 and 445 is my next downside target. Ideally, I'd like to see it take a couple of days sideways, start to drift up very slightly, get the 8 moving average up, push up into the 466, get a confluence, meaning we've got a rank of 1 then, the 8 moving average and the fib line are together. 21 is right there too. And roll over. Now the move down to 455 is a much better move. Much better move than 455 to 445. Oh, you wanted to quit tanking? Yeah, I own it long term, so me too. But again, look at where it's come. And we were at $400 in August, and we got up to 490, 485, 490 this year. So, but there's nothing that says it's going to stop tanking yet. Brenda's got QQQ. So on the Qs, we really could use a new fib in there. I don't have one yet. Let's see, Qs, 12 points, 23.43. Yeah, we need a fib in here. So let's go add a negative 809. So in the Fibonacci video series, we probably have about an hour, maybe a little bit more, probably a little bit more, on 3 or 4 videos on drawing pivots. It's probably about an hour's worth of time of how we put and why we apply Fibit. So we're right at a Fibit now at the 809, 23.35. Yeah, we're okay at that point. Okay. So break out of the 535, retest and bounce. It's at an all-time high. 548, 547 is my next upside target. Downside, I'd love to pull back to the 524. SPY. A very similar pattern, of course, to what we saw on the S&P 500. We're at a rank of 3, so nothing until we break the 609, which is that all-time high. I don't know where that line went. Oh, because I added, no, but I should still see this. Elite line. Yeah, I don't know why my thing pulled out of there. All right. So that 609.20 is going to be, what was the high of this day? The high right here is 609.07, 609.20 is the Fibit. So we wind up with a Fibit within pennies of the all-time high. Go figure how that happens, right? Wow. So I like it, but we need some room to move first on this one, Brenda. Amazon, a couple of you have this one in there. Brenda just happened to be the first one that put it in. So 24 to the 32 is 8 points. We don't need a Fibit in there. We're good. We're at all-time highs right now on it. Break the 232. So 2 things. I wouldn't mind the pullback, getting a confluence of 1 and a bounce, right? But if we break out, retest, and move up, 238 is the upside target, right? So that is Amazon. Let's go. Jennifer's asking for MSTR. So it's been a rock and roll kind of world for this company, right? With everything going on with AI and the likes, right? So great breakout today. And here, look, if we look at a 5-minute candle today, what did it do? Ugh. All right. I don't know why it's not showing up. 419.03. Ratios, show for in all chart windows. I'm having problems with things just not working right on my charts. My monthly still shows Adobe in there, so I don't know why. But we'll call it 420. Right, 420-ish is our. Oh, it might be that I'm not. There we go. I wasn't backed up. So we gapped up, we pulled back, we closed higher, we came down in here, and we stopped, and then we bounced. That fib line is 420. Did I get up to at least 421 on this one right here? I sure did. My high was at 426. So that would have been the entry, pull back, a little bit of sweat in there, and then this thing has rocked right from there. So perfect setup off of 421, it's sitting at 434. Right? So what a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful bounce right inside of there. Right? Actually, what was the open here? Yeah, 420.89. So 421 would have triggered on that candle. Right? So like it a lot. But now, if you didn't take that, pull back to the 420, close, bounce. 467 is resistance. Netflix. They are annoying me a little bit. I'd like to see them. I do not want to see them $1,000 stock. I'd like them to come back down to 850 and stay there. It's a more manageable number. It gets to 1,000. I got to cut this to 4 contract trades. I'm not excited about that. We're at a rank of 3. So we need to break that 937 on the upside, retest and bounce, and 968 is resistance. Yeah, Trip said the calendar shows 12/31 is a holiday. I know that came up again today. It's not on our calendar, so sorry about that. Gene asked for Caterpillar. Another one of those, oh my goodness, setups, right? So great break to the downside. Wiggle a day or two sideways, a little up, a little down. Get the 8 down to the 383.46. Retest and fail. And then, Gene, 372.50 is my downside target. So I like it if we can get that set up. From Caterpillar, Karen had asked for MSFT. Okay. So we're at the 764. We're looking at a Fibonacci 4-step as the potential trade setup here. So the retest of the 448 and the fail down to 436 is where I'd like to see it go to. But if it does break to the upside, let's see, 48 to 68 would be 20. I need a Fibon in there, so we're going to put an 882 in there. So let's go and add that. So if it moves up into that above that 448.32, pulls back and bounces, 458 is our upside target. Jennifer said, I hate CAD is down. I think long-term APR is still too high for companies to buy more equipment right now. Oh, it's always tougher with higher rates, without a doubt. Let's see. Gene said, how long after the pullback and bounce is the indicator useful? So you really have to make that decision, Gene. Are you going to wait for it to close and then bounce the next day? Or you're going to take the intraday bounce? There isn't a right or wrong. It's just a matter of what fits your risk profile. And I do them both. As much as I would prefer a close near and a bounce, this marketplace is not giving it to us. It's more of the, if you don't jump on it when it happens, you're in trouble. And that is where, when you set the trade up properly, right? So for me, I would look at this right now, Microsoft. Okay, we'll use Karen's example. Let me do this first. Let's get rid of the crosshair. Right? And I want to see the stock move up to at least 449. At least, maybe a little bit higher. Pull back and bounce. I don't need to pull back all the way and bounce. My entry to this would be somewhere between 449, 450, probably closer to 450 would be my entry in here, right? My target's going to be $3 underneath this, so 455 is going to be my target. My stop's going to be somewhere down here, okay? So if I wait and don't take advantage of the move, just like it happened today on, excuse me. Say it happened today on NVIDIA. We go, it's gonna let me look at a 5-minute. Nope, there's a 1 I gotta look at. You can see on the 5 how fast it just dropped, right? If you didn't catch this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. First 10 minutes, if you didn't catch this well early on, you missed out on the trade. You missed out. You're done. You're done, you're done, you're done. Right? We broke down, we retested, we failed. Was it a great test? No. Would I have liked it to have closed near it first? Yes, we didn't get it. Right? So it's more just a comfort level, Gene, of as far as that pullback. Does that make sense? Yeah, there's a lot of companies that are getting slapped around a little bit, but again, you've got to look at the kind of runs we've had have been phenomenal. Nothing I want to complain about with the moves we've shown, right? They're all good. So, excellent. All right, folks, hey, there's a lot of links that Andrew dropped in there for you. Go ahead and grab those. I know some of you have already said you're going to be gone. This is your last event. We won't be seeing you until next year. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever your holiday is, folks, that you're celebrating. I wish you the best, best time, friends, family, and so forth. We're really looking forward to it this year. It's a new world for us, having both daughters married this year. Neither one were married the year before. They're both married this year. So we're looking forward to it. We're certainly looking forward to the time to spend with them. But happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Never more than now do I mean it. God bless. Right? You should all look at the blessings you have in life and just be thankful for them. Right? I know I am. I'm thankful for all of you that stick around and hang out with us and help and ask questions and participate and so forth. And just for trusting us with your education. So have a great one, everybody. I'll leave the room open for a few minutes. You can grab all of those links. See you on our next update. Take care, folks. Bye for now.